that it's just probably a telltale sign of the career that I've had. You know, some of the moves that I made individually, and then as well as coming to different environments and organizations. You know, at the end of the day, I always say it's an entertainment league. You know, we're very drama-filled. You know, everything regurgitates on all these media platforms, which is part of our society. I can't really do anything about it, you know, except really be, you know, a pillar in our locker room, be very communicative, and when I'm out there with the guys, just impact winning. You know, that's really what it comes down to. You know, it's not like I'm a asshole yelling at everybody in the friggin' locker room all the time, and you hear all these stories, you know. And at the end of the day, my name, it was given to me by my grandfather. I'm very grateful, but it's in a lot of people's mouths all the time, and it is what it is. I've earned that respect in terms of how great I am as a player, and there's still more goals I want to accomplish in this league, and I can't do it without improving an organization and winning a championship, and that's what it comes down to. So I'm going to continue to push. I'm going to continue to demand greatness out of myself and demand greatness out of my teammates, and we go from there. If it's harsh as a leader or it's too much for anybody, you're not in our locker room, stay the fuck out. It's as simple as that.
Hey, man, we better go.
All right, now this segment's called Give and Go. We still have 24 seconds on the clock.
Fred G. Said, you about to have a heart attack.
Having a heart attack.
Elizabeth,
Fred G.
Daddy, I'm coming to see you. I'm so great. There's nobody ever shoot a three-pointer ever better than me ever. I had a step. I don't care who it is. I'm the best shooter to ever shoot a basketball. Oh, I'm sorry. We're back
3D, what's wrong, man? What's
You're
wrong?
supposed to have 24 seconds. The clock starts.
Oh, my bad.
What's wrong, man? He's just great, man.
Was I taking a nap over there?
No, man, you wasn't. You heard it correct.
That was real life. That was today. That was after the other day what he said.
Wow. Okay.
I don't look. And you know this, rap for me. I am
go. All right, go ahead. We're on the clock.
Whoa. You are what?
You're
I'm
speechless?
speechless.
Well, let me go. First of all, Kyrie, I like you said, we do respect you as a player. We respect what you've done and on the court. Off the court, some of these things you're saying right now, I can't lie, I don't agree with. I know what you're saying. You're trying to be the best teammate in the locker room. We know things didn't go well in Boston. You're right.
All I'm gonna say is just play ball, man.
Yeah,
just let the results and how you play. You start winning basketball games the way the Nets should, and you play up to your potential. Everything will be fine. Let your play do your talking for you.
Yeah.
And let the results speak for themselves.
Remember, Kyrie, this was a playoff team last year before you got there. Be the all-star, be the Olympian we know you can be. Go out there and play great basketball. Well, you know KD's coming next year. Stop it.
Kyrie has played a third of the season, and the Nets are currently in the 8th spot in the East, okay? How about Zion Williamson coming back next Wednesday against the Spurs? And we heard Alvin Gentry say it, there will be no minutes restriction on Zion Williamson. Okay, what are your expectations?
What they mean by that, and Sam understands this, for this young man, if he's ready to play, let him play. Now, obviously, he's not going to be in basketball shape after missing all those months. So that's when they say spurts. So when he goes out there for 4, 5, 6, 7 minutes, he looks good, he comes out, get a good rest. How you feel? I feel good. Get back in the ball game versus, all right, play 2 minutes, sit down, and say, oh, he's at 17 minutes, sit him down. No, it's way too young to let him go.
He's going to be on a minute restriction because he's not in shape. Dude, you don't sit and miss this many games and then have had knee problems and get in condition. How do you get in shape? You have to run playing basketball. I expect to see him 3D in 3-4 minute spurts because people don't understand. To play 7 or 8 straight minutes in an NBA game is hard when you're in shape to play at the level in which you need to win. So I'm going to say 3-4 minute spurts, but watch out because of the 3 or 4 minutes when he goes, he's going to go hard.
Yeah.
He's going to show you something in those 4 minutes.
And Brandon Ingram certainly showing us something right now. 49 points the other night and a game winner. So
you know what make Brandon Ingram even better? Our health is out.
Oh, my goodness. Everybody's going to get better.
How about this, Sam? So the team that Brandon Ingram used to play for, the LA Lakers, they kept Kyle Kuzma, and now there seems to be speculation as should they make a trade? What do you say on that?
No. First of all, at $1.9 million, you're not going to get the value back as far as the type of player Kyle Kuzma is. Think about something. He's 6'10", can shoot the 3, and play multiple positions. No, I just think the money that Kyle Kuzma making and what you're going to get in return, unless you package a bunch of those veterans with him, I don't see a package you can put together that includes Kyle Kuzma that's going to get you a better player than what he is right now.
Just in general, do the Lakers need to make a trade?
Do not make a trade. Kyle Kuzma, just go ahead and, get rid of the blind stuff out your head. Get the Hollywood done. Let's go back to playing basketball. That's it. That's all I got.
Best record in the West. They had won 9 straight games before they lost.
Good.
They had a 10-game win streak earlier in the season.
LeBron's that good.
Yeah.
And for all the naysayers, forget about comparing the past and the present because LeBron is that good. AD's missed games. Kyle Kuzma's been up and down. Rondo's been up and down. No, LeBron, keep showing us why great you are.
How about the Utah Jazz? Jordan Clarkson, undefeated as a member of their team. Are they a title contender? Until last night when they lost to the Pelicans on that night.
I'm not ready to say title contender yet, but I like what I see bringing in Clarkson. But once again, when Mike Conley comes back, it's going to let me know is everything I'm reading for real saying because we know he's the perfect professional. He's told everybody, more important as a coach, if I told you, coach, if you want me to come off the bench for us to win a championship, I'm going to come off the bench.
He's going to be coming off the bench. Listen to what you just said. They haven't lost a game since Jordan Clarkson got there.
Just until last night.
Exactly. So you look at this Jazz team, and to 3D's point, once Mike Conley comes back and figures out how to play with this group, and you start looking at their second unit, and you add Mike Conley and Clarkson to that second unit, now you got something because what's been the biggest problem the Jazz have always had? Scoring. Now they're going to be able to. Now their starting lineup is going to be potent. And now with Mike Conley Jr. coming off the bench with Clarkson, hey, man, the potential's there.
So now that the Memphis Grizzlies have gone on their 6-game winning streak, they're ahead of the San Antonio Spurs for that final playoff spot. So the Spurs, we know they've been to the postseason 22 straight years. Does that streak end this season?
I'm going to say no. I'm going to say Pop's going to figure out a way because now whatever DeMar DeRozan was going through, I thought he might have been pouting a little bit because saying he wanted the extension, he didn't get it. So I thought he was in a funk for about a month or so.
He was.
Now he's coming out that funk and saying, you know what? There's 29 other teams out there, so let me get back to doing what I do.
Who was he by being in a funk?
Come on, himself.
Thank you.
So I say, lately he's gotten back to himself. The rest of y'all threes, yes, I love the three. He's getting back to being the mid-range assassin, letting everybody know how good he is.
Chris, Pop, one of my favorites, not just coaches, but people. For the things that he's standing up for, not just in basketball, but in society, period. But that being said, why? If your goal is to be the 8th seed, unless you think in a 7-game series you can upset the Los Angeles Lakers, which I don't think gonna happen. To me, look, I'll say this. How did Memphis get Ja Morant? By not making the playoffs. So guess what? The San Antonios have proved when they draft their players and you bring them through their system, this is the first time they went out and acquired all-star guys. They've always developed their all-stars. When they get back in the draft and start selecting players and developing them, San Antonio will be back in a lot quicker than what people think.
Sam, is your hearing working? Do you hear that?
Yeah, I heard the first 3 times that we were doing it.
That means you're supposed to stop talking, Sam.
Well, guess what?
Okay, we have rules to this game.
Okay, I agree, but 3D was talking past 20. I was talking past 20. So now I'm starting to feel like I'm being singled out. Is it that you like 3D more than you like me?
That's because you went over all this time,
I'm a big boy. I can handle it. I just need to know what I'm dealing with when I come to work. That's all.
Sam, you took 3D's time.
3D.
Okay, and I'm trying to get it back to our show.
I just need to know what I'm dealing with. Who are my friends and who are the people that I just work with? Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, man. Well, we have time to talk a little Bam Adebayo, the Miami Heat, and the Thunder. Remember all those trade rumors about Chris Paul as soon as he arrived in OKC, like, oh, he's going to get shipped to Miami. Both teams playing well. We'll discuss that next in the warm-up presented by... So Karl Anthony Towns returning to the lineup after missing the last 15 games with a knee injury. So if you're getting your fantasy lineups together, make sure you consider that. Let's bring in Tim Doyle to help us with ours. All right, Doyle, we know how great you are with the budget. You had it at exactly $60,000 on Wednesday, but now we have a good question for you. Luka Doncic going to cost you about $11 grand. Trae Young, 10-4. So who's the better investment?
Yeah, some would say flip of the coin, but I would disagree with them because I think Luka Doncic is the better investment because he has better players around him. Now, I still think it's going to be a conversation as far as who's going to be the better overall pro, but Luka has guys like Hardaway, like Porzingis, Curry comes in, makes shots. Powell's been great this year. Like, when you look at Trae Young, like, he's asked to do so much, and everybody is gunning at him from a defensive standpoint. I mean, what did Luka do against the Kings? I mean, he got silly.
Damian
25
Lillard
points, 15 rebounds, 17 assists. Chris, that was a second half of a back-to-back. Aren't you supposed to be tired? I think either one of these guys you could build a case for. I just think Doncic has better players around him, making the game easier for him.
I mean, that's hard to disagree with, especially when you look at the Mavericks record out west and you look at the Hawks record in the east. So let's talk about the Kings of the North, the Toronto Raptors. They're facing a team that, since winter has come, the Washington Wizards have been King Slayers. Hope you're a Game of Thrones fan. A lot of references in there. So who do you like from this game?
You know, if I could just put, like, the drool emoji on this game, I mean, whenever the Wizards are playing, don't you just want to gun for them? Because they're number one in the NBA in points allowed, almost 120 points a game. So two guys on the Raptors that stand out to me, Pascal Siakam, welcome back, and Norman Powell. Now, I think they're watching Siakam's minutes as far as, you know, they're not rolling him out there 36, 37 minutes a game. But once he starts getting those minutes, he's been providing big punch, and then Powell's been great over his last two games since returning to the lineup. When you play Powell, you need him to go out there and get 20-plus points. With a guy like Siakam, you know he's going to block some shots. You know he can have a handful of steals. And now that his scoring has jumped to where he's getting you nearly 25 points a game, when you look at the Wizards, I love a squad like this to play on or to play against because they want to go up and down. Every coach says we're going to play fast. We're going to get out in transition. Well, I'll say this, Washington, they do both of those things. The other thing they don't do, they don't guard anybody.
Well, it sounds like you plan on stacking some Raptors. Any other teams that are worth stacking tonight?
Well, I'm going to pinpoint this game, and I'm going to look at the Cavaliers and the Grizzlies really for two different reasons. First of all, Memphis is playing outstanding, and they are spearheaded by two 20-year-olds. Ja Morant and Jaren Jackson Jr. have been outstanding. Now, a little bit boom or bust with them because, you know, Ja's minutes are under 30, and Jaren can't stop fouling people. I mean, he's number one in the NBA in fouls per game. Ja was out of this world against the Rockets. That was a game that I called. He was doing everything right, barely missed a shot, finding his teammates. Both these guys are the future. And on the flip side, I got two different motivations here. One, Kevin Love didn't play last out, so he's got fresh legs, and he's been really consistent all season. And on the flip side, Tristan Thompson, he didn't score. When you come off a zero burger in your last game, you know you're going to be motivated. This is a game that I see being a high possession game during this win streak for the Grizzlies of 6 in a row. They're averaging nearly 130 points a game, so they like to get up and down, and Thompson and Love are so reliable on the backboards. But as far as that 8th spot, Chris, Memphis would be in the playoffs at the end of the day. I'm not so sure.
Oh, you're not sold on Memphis just yet. But like you said, you called the Grizzlies and Rockets game.
I think there's better teams at 8 than them. I think there's more talent there, but they're on a great roll right now.
Yeah, a lot of teams stacked out west, including the Spurs trying to keep their streak alive in 23 straight years in the postseason. But let's focus on that game you called, the Houston Rockets, a team that, man, James Harden, 13 points against the Blazers on just 12 shots. He's been struggling a bit. What is your take on the Rockets right now in the fantasy value?
Yeah, after diving into that game, because I got a chance to call it, I think it becomes a no-brainer. And maybe this isn't, that intelligent, but when Westbrook doesn't play, Harden becomes must-play because he's going to shoot the ball almost 40 times. I mean, the last two games without Westbrook, he's approaching that number, Chris. And we're talking about almost shooting 23. So I think he's really difficult to handicap when Westbrook is out there. Like, Westbrook sat against the Grizzlies, played against the Blazers, and you saw his production go way down. Harden's did. So he is a really difficult guy, and I always feel like I look at him because D'Antoni's going to play the same way. If you're his point guard, if I'm his point guard, if Harden's his point guard, like, he's so consistent with his system that James becomes a guy that's always tough to handicap when Westbrook is out there. But when Westbrook is not out there, KISS method. Keep it simple, stupid. You got to play Harden.
Yeah, you mentioned those D'Antoni point guards. The two I always point to most. Raymond Felton, when he had him, he put up ridiculous numbers. And Jeremy Lin, people forget Mike D'Antoni part of that. So, all right, Doyle, thanks for stopping by the warm-up. Always good to have you. Great to see you in the no-tie fly zone. And look at your starting lineup, man. I mean, Luka Doncic, clearly you went that route. Kevin Huerter, Norman Powell. I mean, it seems like a very balanced attack.
Well, for the T-Wolves, I think Culver and Napier, their usage is going to be up because no more Jeff Teague. Powell, I think, is a great bargain. Huerter's finally playing more minutes. And then I always play Kevin Love when I can because he has gray hair like me. And if you're out there still balling with gray hair, Chris, I got a lot of respect for you.
I wonder if you grew a beard and you went out, because I know you're 6'5", people are like, oh, look, there's Kevin Love. There you go.
You want to know something? You just made my whole weekend. Do not even send me a paycheck for this segment because you just made my whole weekend.
Well, if the bosses are listening, send me Doyle's paycheck. How about that? Double up from me. All right, Doyle, thanks for stopping by.
You got it, Chris.
Well, you won't see Jimmy Butler amongst league leaders when you're looking for wins, though. The Heat have the second most in the East with 28. They're in OKC tonight. You're watching the warm-up presented by Ford. That is
Thank
Game
you for
Time
making me
Live.
feel good about the 2-hour break
I think Sekou and Stan are on that. Happy birthday, Dwayne Wade. How about
Flash.
that?
I want to say happy birthday to my baby sister, Maria, who lives in Columbus, Georgia.
Sam, is that a picture of your baby sister?
Her 53rd birthday. Happy birthday, little sister.
She might be mad she telling her age, though.
That's okay. She's still alive, right? Hey, happy 53rd birthday from your big brother. I love you.
It's a great birthday to have to share with D Wade. That's pretty.
Happy birthday, D-Wade.
Yeah,
Same
look at
birthday
that.
as my
But like
sister.
he says, it's a heck of a script, a heck of a career. Now he's turning over, doing TV now with us here at TNT and Turner Sports. So it's going to be fun to see his next step.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
See if he's
birthday,
as funny
D-Wade.
as you, Sam. That's going to take a lot of work to get there,
Oh,
man.
my goodness. Chris, you know what, Chris? I'm not funny.
I
It's just that
told
we
you
just
guys
laugh
we were
at you,
going to
that's
warm
all.
it up.
I'm
Be
not
like
funny. We
Sam.
just laugh
Let
at
your
you.
soul glow. Let your